it's dried, and now I have to remove all the drawing materials, and I think I'm just going to use baby oil or isopar I could use as well. So I'm going to do that next. Okay, removing all the drawing materials. I'm going to start with baby oil. Let's see how successful I am with using that. And maybe a little stronger chemical if needed would be our isopar, very, very mild solvent. But Gamsol would be kind of another alternative, or mineral spirits, something like that. So I'm going to just put some. You want to make sure you do not get any water on it at this point. That would dissolve the gum or damage those negative areas at this point. And we'll just kind of, let the chemical do its work. In demonstrations and lectures, I tend to rush things, and then they aren't quite as successful as they would be if I had really taken my time and done it well. But you want to remove as much of this material as possible. It probably will eventually still have a stain to it. So it's working quite well. So to speed up this process a little bit, I am now going to, seems like the crayon worked really well. All is working very well. I'm going to try a little isopar with it. I think it's getting close to being removed. Some of this, it's over the gum, so that will come off later. Okay, I think I will stop there. Now I'm going to mix my silicone, get a clean sheet of newsprint to put underneath, and we will coat our plate. So again, my technique procedure for coating a waterless plate, I like DAP 100% silicone.
I just finished
Color.
the photo room. Thank you.
Thank you. The color does not really matter. I actually look for white, but I have gray. It doesn't matter that much. So I usually leave a little plug in the end, and then when I go to get some more out, I pull that out. I like to squirt it into a plastic container. I used to use film canisters. Well, now, guess what? We don't have too many more film canisters, but we do have prescription containers. So again, I'm going to leave a little bead out there like that. It'll become a solid, and then I pull it out for the next time I use it. Now it's a little thick. Would be a little problematic to spread it on the plate, so I'm going to thin it a little bit with our isopar. So just put a little in. You don't need a lot. And it's kind of an estimate. You just want to make it so it's a little easier to apply. And it does take a minute to make it go into solution and mix with the silicone. Whoops. Prefer like a popsicle stick, works really nice for this. So I've got that mixed. I'm going to just put some on the plate surface. I don't need too much, just enough to go over the whole surface. Taking a paper towel, make sure you spread it over the whole surface. And now I'm going to go over it again with another paper towel. I want to get it down to a thin, very thin film. Okay? Remember, you don't want too much silicone on your, it's not the principle that more is better. In fact, more I've seen in the past causes some problems. Polish it. And now, when you are finished, I'm going to let that cure for, I like to let it cure at least overnight, 24 hours. You can leave it as long as you want. And then we will continue with the process. Okay, now that our silicone is cured, our next step in preparation for printing is to wash off the gum Arabic. See if I can get a little, you can see here where it's washing off, where it doesn't want to hold water. There's still gum there. Down here, gum is washed off. So you're going to want to take probably a sponge and scrub it a little bit. It's a good idea. Looking good. All right, I think I've done a good job, I hope, of doing that. Gonna blot it dry with a piece of newsprint, or you could use paper towel to dry it. So it should be ready for ink. Now I've mixed kind of a variation of black here. Remember, put it out in about the width of your brayer. Roll out a little bit. Get it nice and even. Sure it's dry. Okay, now with firm pressure. This is a good speed. Keep it kind of crisp and open. Starting off the plate, rolling off the plate. Waiting for those solid black areas to get nice and velvety. When I'm ready to print here, it'll probably be maybe 3, maximum of 4 inking passes. All right, that should be good. Remember, this is waterless, no water. So I've set the press up for firm pressure, so we will take it to the press and make a print. All right, so looking at my first impression here, it's starting to look good on the right side, or this side over here. This side over here obviously needs more pressure. So I will run it through again, re-ink it, a little more pressure, and we will check it again. Okay, here is better version. Perhaps could use just a little more ink, the lower right, or in this area right here definitely should be maybe solid black, so I will need to add a little more black. But that's your reversal. I kind of like the image. I might call it Moon Over the Mountains, or something very seductive about these images for me.